Hey, welcome back to Work-Life Harmony. I've been getting a lot of questions lately asking, like, have I always managed my time this way? Have I always been organized like this with my calendar? And that is a hard no. And what I want to share with you guys today is looking back. Um, for 20 some odd years, I had some pretty good systems and processes in place for how I managed my day to day life, my calendar, my structure, my work, all of that. But there was a moment when 20 years of systems and processes that I personally had been trained on totally stopped working and failed me. And I didn't know it until I had that huge wake up call several years back when I realized I had like literally no fun time, no life for myself, no life outside of work, motherhood, stress, rinse, repeat. And so I've been doing some kind of looking back and pulling together why it is that those, how I managed my time for 20 years, why it is that it stopped working and what changes had to be put in place in order to truly achieve work life harmony. So I want to share those with you today so that you can be thinking about does this resonate with you? Are you stuck in any of these places that I was? So first and foremost, when I first really started diving into all of this, or in my 20s, technology was not what it is today. I remember being issued a pager. Like I had a pager for work. That's how they reached me in emergency situations. And when it went off, I had to go find a payphone. That's how old I am. So all of the kind of traditional productivity time management programs that I went through, and a lot of them are still kind of the same out there today, aren't addressing the fact that we walk around with computers in our pocket 24/7 and are accessible all the time. So if you are not recognizing that, acknowledging it, and then finding a way to bring technology into your systems and processes to make sure you're leveraging it when you should and you are walking away when you need to, you are going to end up in a place where things you're going to be 24/7 all the time. Now, another reason why the systems I used for so long really failed me when I started transitioning into not only building my own business, becoming an entrepreneur, but becoming a mom kind of all at the same time. All of the techniques that I was taught were really delivered with this assumption of a very corporate 9 to 5 setting, 5 days a week, where you kind of had your work world and then you have the rest of your life. And all of those courses really handled the work life very well. Like when I walked into my office versus when I left, those systems and tools served me. However, outside of life, the older I got, the more responsibilities I took on, the more roles I took on. Um, you know, Even when I was single, I was still, starting to get into more volunteer work. I was very active in the triathlete space. And the more you take into your life, if you don't have the right system in place to help you manage that, the tools that were working for me in the work world were not translating outside of work to figure out how do I bring everything else in. And then when I brought in building my own business and becoming a mom, well, all of those systems did not work for the rest of my life either. Now, the third reason why I recognized what I had been doing was not working again was when whether you are, a caregiver or even a pet owner, a parent, you need to have the right strategy for how you are managing your day to day life and your time that truly acknowledges all that you have going on, accommodates it, and helps you to make really good choices on how to structure your time and what you need to say yes to and no to. And so when I look back, and I actually this weekend was doing some cleanup work and I found one of my very, very old, it was probably at this point, I think about 18 years old, day planner that I had used. It was a daily day planner. I used the same one for 20 some years. and I went back and looked at what my calendar and structure looked like. It was really great for my office, but then the minute I left work, everything else was, I noticed it was really starting to fail me. So if you are using strategies and systems for managing your time, for prioritizing things, for figuring out, how to juggle all the stuff that you have going on, if your strategies aren't exactly talking about that and acknowledging it and giving you tips to do it, it's time to find new ones. Point, just period. That's it. I am passionate about making sure that everybody has these systems and processes in place. You may have heard about my top boot camp. I run this periodically throughout the year. At the time that you are listening to this, I am actually just about to start one. So go check it out, megansummerall.com/top boot camp. Now, if you're listening to this later, you may be seeing a page that tells you to get on the wait list. Get on the wait list for the next one. Because in these boot camps, I break down with you systems and processes that not only work in a traditional work setting, but they also bring in everything else in your life. We talk about technology. When do we use it? When do we not? We talk about whether you have a job outside the home, you're full-time in the home, maybe you're building a business, maybe a mixture of all of the above, and maybe you're a mom or a caregiver or have a ton of other extracurricular activities that take a lot of your time as well. When you have all that going on, you've got to have the right tools, processes, systems in place to make sure that you are not running around 24/7, exhausted, frazzled, strung out, and just kind of ready to give up. And this is exactly what I am all about. So take a little bit of your time today, think through, is what you're using serving you? If not, go sign up for the next top boot camp. You will definitely want to be in there. And if you are someone that says, you know what, I had this transformation myself, I'd love to hear about it. So drop me a note in the review here of this particular podcast episode. And hopefully I'll be seeing a bunch of you next week inside the boot camp or in an upcoming one, depending upon when you happen to be listening to this. Have a great week.